and I have a whole dozen of balls that a subscriber gave me. That I have balls. I got clubs that a subscriber gave me.
You sit on a throne of lies.
I've got golf shoes, a golf hat. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to crush it.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
JJ for giving us the go-ahead to play this video here. Oh, there's our friend Johnny Vegas. How did 74 people like that video? That's a good question.
Good morning, everybody. This is Johnny Vegas. I finally got a chance to talk.
74 people who don't care that Tim's a thief. That's 74 people that really think they're like, you know, just like patriots, man.
Everything what happened with Tim about the golf clubs. So I'm here at my country club. I want to play golf in a little while. But I loaned Tim the clubs back in the time when I had my shoulder surgery. He came into Vegas and he didn't have any clubs. So he said he was going to rent a set. And I said, well, you're going to pay 75 to 125. And he didn't want to do that. So I loaned him my clubs.
I'm shocked. And this is exactly Johnny has not changed anything in this story. As I said earlier, this has stayed the same. And that's exactly what he said to me, that he knew that Tim was coming from out of town, that he wanted to play golf, and that to rent a set is not inexpensive. Just to rent them, $75 to $100 at a club in that area in Nevada. This man doesn't want to pay $2 for parking. I mean, he doesn't want to pay $5 for a soda at a restaurant. So we know he certainly would not want to rent those clubs. And Johnny had an additional set of clubs that were gifted clubs, you know, to him because they had his name were actually on them. So these clubs meant something to him. His name is on the clubs. And he was kind enough to lend them to Tim.
And then I don't know the exact dates and when it happened, but he went down to Laughlin. I loaned my clubs back to him. This guy Dino, who we met one time before, I've only met him one time. He came to pick up the clubs from me to give back to Tim in Laughlin. They were going to play golf together. And at that time, I wasn't too sure about Dino. I didn't know the guy, so I asked Tim numerous times, Tim, is it safe to give this guy my clubs? Because, you know, they're worth about $2,500. He said, well, I talked to him a few times. I think he's a trustworthy guy. So I did give Dino, met him at the restaurant, gave him the clubs. He brought him down to Tim. Tim played 2 or 3 rounds.
Dino is going to go over to Johnny Vegas' house and pick up and get acquainted and pick up some golf clubs that Johnny Vegas is going to loan me, some right-handed clubs. He's got a couple of sets. Timmy didn't have an extra set, but Dino lives in Vegas, and he's not that far from Johnny Vegas. So they're going to hook up, talk golf a little bit, I'm sure. Grab some clubs from Johnny, bring them to me. We're going to play some golf. We're going to make some videos, and we're going to show you how good or how much of a slicer we are.
But to make a long story short here, basically, I saved Tim about $500 in rental fees. Every time he played golf, it cost him $75 to $100 to rent clubs.
Think about the amount of money that not only Johnny Vegas saved Tim, who was making a lot of money from his YouTube channel. Tim easily could have bought a set of golf clubs with the amount of money that he was making on YouTube. And shit, Tim, you could have written it off in your goddamn taxes because you would have. Patty brought up a great point. Thank you, Patty. I really appreciate your expertise and knowledge on this. There's also a distinct passive aggressiveness common to ASPD. That's antisocial personality disorder, just to clarify the acronyms for everybody. And or NPD, that's narcissistic personality disorder. Just in case some of you aren't familiar with the use of the acronyms, just to clarify. It's rooted in what they believe is their superior intellect. LOL. He literally almost seems to revel and delight in having taken Johnny Vegas's golf clubs. And to think when he talks about how much money he saved, and then you add that to the actual cost of the golf clubs, we're looking at a lot of money, thousands of dollars that Tim felt entitled to because he's an arrogant person.
And I didn't want him to do that because, you know, saving time, saving money. But in the long run, the clubs were loaned to Tim, and he said on the video, and I asked him, Tim, when are you going to bring me back my clubs? He said, well, I'm coming up to Vegas on Monday to play golf with you at Red Rock Country Club. So I called in, talked to him Sunday, and Jay and Bev, I believe, was down there at that time. They left a little earlier, and then Tim had pulled out of Laughlin on Sunday. I don't know the dates, don't know the month. It was around November, December. And then I called him, didn't hear.
That these are gifted. He's just doubling down again because he knows the commentary community is going to be bringing him up because he's talking about golf, and he either wants to get the rage bait clicks, eyeballs on his content, and he can do that.
From Sunday, I called him Monday, see what time he's coming up to play golf Tuesday. And he said, oh, I'm in Texas right now. I'm like, you're in Texas? Excuse me. He said, yeah. He says, I left early. I didn't want to. I said, what about my golf club? He said, well, I'm coming back in May, and I'll bring him back at that time. And at that time, he never brought him back. And they were just a loan to him, and he assumed that they were given to him, which I did not tell him he can have the clubs. So he actually lied about it. But I'm not worried too much about the clubs. I got other things going on. I had a heart transplant back in October. I'm doing well. I'm not 100%. I'm about 70% still. I'm dealing with.
So I just wish you all the best, Johnny, with that.
Some blood issues right now. And I finally got, people been asking about the video. Why don't I come out and tell them the real truth? Well, this is what really happened, folks. They were loaned to him to use, so they didn't have to buy rental clubs. And, and the thing is here, Tim lost a lot of good people here. Jay and Bev, my friend Don and Dan, me, which I never met. Z-Car. Jay said he's a real nice guy. Steve in California, a bunch of guys in California that we hooked up with to play golf. They're all disappointed in Tim, what he did to me. And, I'm not asking, I forgive Tim because I'm a Catholic, but I'll never forget what he did to me. And like I said, like everybody else tells.
And that's what Johnny always told me, is that he always forgave Tim. And, but won't forget, though, because I think it's important that we remind people, because Tim certainly has tried to quiet all of our voices so that the stories of Johnny Vegas and the stolen golf clubs would not be sitting around YouTube.
If it was a misunderstanding, he could still send the clubs back and say, hey, it was a misunderstanding. I'll stand up to the way I am and I'll send them back to you. But he never attempted to do that. I know Carl asked to pay the freight to send him back on a video at one time months ago. And I even told Jay, if he just sent him back, I'll pay for the freight too. So it's not about the principle of the clubs. It's what he did to me and what he did to a lot of people and hurt them, including Bev and Jay. What he did to Beverly during the Battle of Cancel was totally, as a Catholic, which I am, and Tim supposedly a God-living person, he deleted.
Tim is not a God-living person. Tim uses God as a Christian cosplay. Tim is not a religious man. Tim uses it because he knows some gullible Christians will fall for that in the community. So he just uses that to keep those gullible Christians sending them coffee and money.
All the comments from Beverly's therapy, she was going through radiation and stuff. Didn't care about her, didn't care about Jay. He don't care about too many people. He just cares about himself. So the truth is, I'm laying it on the line now. The clubs are loaned to him. On a video, he did say, I loaned it to him. Everybody knows out here that I loaned them to him. I did not give Tim the clubs to keep. I gave him a few items that he can have, which is a rangefinder. I gave him a Scotty Cameron divot tool, which is worth a couple $100. I tried to help him with a few different items. And I told him that they were gifts for me. I didn't tell him the clubs were gifts. Maybe he misunderstood me, but. Oh.
Look, as soon as I get here, Johnny Vegas, he's got this little rangefinder for me, but he's got more. Let's get in and show him what we got. He picked it up for me yesterday. He gave me this set of clubs, $1,000 set of clubs. It's got a driver and a 3 hybrid.
This is a 5 hybrid.
This is a 5 hybrid, a Callaway, baby, Callaway. These are top clubs. Here, hold this. And I got this rangefinder right here. All you do is you look in here and you push this button and you point it at anything and it tells you how many yards. So you look at the flag on the green and if you're out there in the middle of the fairway, you can know exactly how far it is. So I got this here, but the club was a bonus. And I mean, I need that in my arsenal. Then he also got this little extra thing here for me.
Divot fixer.
This is a little divot repair when the ball lands on the green, because I'm going to be definitely putting it right on the green on my second shot. I'm going to be coming in from high. And when they come in from high, they leave a ball mark on the green. You got to repair those. So he gave me a little divot mark. I really appreciate everything, Johnny Vegas.
And that's what we showed on this community too, because I know a lot of people said, well, Tim said they were gifted. I wouldn't believe shite that comes out of Tim's mouth. Tim's a liar, pathological, probably.
Hopefully you guys understand this video. I just want to let everybody know, I know Darling and a bunch of other people were asking for a video. So I did it today. As far as my health goes, I'm 7 months out of my heart transplant. I'm doing well. I walk 5 to 7 miles every day. I'm playing golf this morning. I'll probably walk the whole course, about 8-9 miles. So as far as my strength, I'm getting it back. My blood's a little issue.
I feel bad too. Everybody has certainly tried to get these clubs back to Johnny Vegas, at least tried to shame Tim into it. No, what does that sorry, probably antisocial personality disorder / narcissistic personality disorder. We do not treat or diagnose here. Individual out here doing is doubling down and talking about them being gifted and talking more about golf. And he has no remorse, zero remorse. And we know he absconded with them. He was supposed to have played golf with Johnny Vegas that morning, and he rolled off with Miss Tammy. So Miss Tammy is literally a conspirator in the crime, because she probably knew too that Tim was supposed to play that morning. Shame on you, Miss Tammy.
Sarasota Tim and Miss Tammy. We got the Tim and Tammy show for you, bringing it back by popular demand.
And to all the people who gave me all the prayers and wishes, I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart, my family and everybody. So anyway, that's it, folks. Enjoy the day. I hope everybody has a blessed week, blessed weekend, and everybody be safe. Take care. Johnny Vegas. See you.
And that's a club you will never get to play in, Tim. You will never get to go to the Red Rock Country Club, which looks absolutely gorgeous over at Las Vegas, Nevada. Johnny, if you ever want to invite me to play golf, let me know.